In this video, we're going over camera tips and tricks on the Samsung Galaxy A20. Hey everyone, thank you for joining us today. If you want to stay up to date on all the mobile technology coming out and learn cool tips, tricks, and hidden features, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and tap the bell to turn on post notifications so you can be alerted every time we post new videos. Today we're going to show you some specific tips and tricks for the camera. Let's go ahead and open up our camera and get started. Now the first tip, this one is so funny. A lot of people don't know you can do this, but you can actually change the ratio of the pictures that you take. Right now it's set on a 3:4 ratio, which has to do with the size of the frame here. But right up here, if we tap on this little icon, it says 3:4. I would tell you change it to full. And now you'll actually get a wider picture here versus that 3:4 ratio. Or if you're the kind of person who likes to take pictures for Instagram specifically, you can change it to a 1:1 ratio, and this will optimize the size of the picture so it's perfect for posting on Instagram. So depending on what you're doing, that's how you want to change the ratio. 9:6 is also good if you're taking something that you want to put in a video. The 9:6 ratio is good too. But I just like to shoot on the full because I get a little bit of a larger shot that way. Our next tip is going to be how to take wide angle pictures. Now, right in the settings, right above photo, you have these two options here. You have, this is a normal photo here, and this is a wide angle shot. And when you change to wide angle, it actually is tapping into that second camera on the back of the screen. So you can actually get more in your shot. So for an example, let's say this is a normal size picture. Now if I switch here, this is a wide angle picture. You see now I get actually more in the shot. So if you're trying to take a group picture with a lot of people, I would definitely tell you make sure you're on the wide angle setting. Also, if you're trying to take a picture of a landmark or a large monument, make sure you're on that wide angle setting because it will give you more in your shot. For the front selfie camera as well, you can also do the same thing. There is the regular shot and then there is the wide shot. So make sure you're adjusting those accordingly based on what you're taking pictures of. Now our next tip is going to be how to take a picture with your hand. That's right, what's called a palm selfie. First, you want to make sure that you swipe up and make sure you're on the selfie mode, and then go to the settings right here. From here, go to shooting methods and make sure your show palm is on. So it's on. And now I can take a picture just by taking my hand and putting it in the shot. And what it does is it actually will trigger a timer. I want to say it's like a 2 or 3 second timer. Let's try it again here. So hand in the shot. There we go. So hand in the shot, detects it. So usually you can get your party together, raise your hand, and then it'll detect it, and then a few seconds later it takes your picture. So that is a palm selfie. Alright, our next tip is going to be how to take a burst of pictures, or what's called burst mode. Now once again, go to the settings and under hold shutter button, tap here and make sure that it's on take burst shot. Now you can also change it to create GIF, and I'll go over that in a second, but make sure it's on burst. And then when you're ready to take your picture, just hold the button here and it'll take a bunch of pictures. You know when you're trying to get the perfect shot and people keep moving, or you're taking a picture of a kid and they smile and they stop smiling, by just keeping your finger on the button here, it's going to take a bunch of pictures at one time. So you're bound to get the best shot just by holding it down. You've got 30 shots it'll take in order to try to get that perfect shot. So that's how you use the burst mode. Now if we switch it over here, go back to hold shutter button, we can change it to create a GIF. And with this setting, you can take a picture of a group of people doing something, and by holding the shutter button, it will also take a burst of pictures, but specifically so you can take a GIF. And I want to say when we go to our menu option, it'll take those pictures and then it'll turn it into a GIF. See that? Let's try it one more time here. But this time I'm going to move the camera so you can see how it works. So you're trying to take a GIF. Okay. Go back to our menu here. And it took all those pictures, put them together, and it made it into a little animated GIF. So if you have someone, if you catch someone doing something funny and you quickly change it to that setting, you can create it into a GIF and then send it out, and it's really funny. So our next tip is going to be in the settings. Go back to the settings menu, and we're going to go to grid lines and turn on the grid lines. Now you're going to have these little lines that are going to go across the screen, which are very helpful for squaring up a shot to make sure you have your subject in the right place. You always want whatever you're taking a picture of to be right in the center of the picture. This will help you stay balanced and make sure you've got the right angle for your picture here, just using these little grid lines as your guide. All right, our next tip is going to be what is called a floating shutter. And I think a lot of you are going to like this feature. So settings, we're going to go to camera modes, or excuse me, go to shooting methods and go to floating shutter button. Now what this does is it's going to give you a floating button here, so that depending on how you're holding the phone, it'll be easier for you to take your picture here. So let's say I'm holding the phone like this, or maybe I'm holding the phone like this. Oh, can't do that. But depending on how you're holding the phone, you can have this button float so that it's easier to get that shot. Sometimes this is not the easiest thing to reach. Maybe you want to put it in a different spot. So wherever you want to put it, it just makes it easier. Maybe you want to have it higher up here. That's easier to reach. So maybe this is kind of hard to reach, but you can tap up here, take a shot that way. You can just move it around the screen just to have a better angle of reaching the button for your shot. Especially for those times when you're out and about and you can't find someone to take a picture for you. You have to like hold your arm out and try to get everybody in the shot. This just makes it a little easier to get that perfect shot for you. And our last tip is going to be programming the volume buttons to control your zoom. So go back to settings, and we're going to swipe all the way up, and we're going to go to, once again, shooting methods. Go to press volume keys 2, change it to zoom. And now, as I'm taking my picture, I can use the volume keys to zoom in or zoom out. Just to show you a little bit easier. So I want to zoom in, I can just hold volume up and continue to zoom in and use volume down to zoom out. So a little bit easier. The other way to zoom is normally to pinch, but if you're holding the phone with one hand and you don't have two hands to go in and out, it's a really easy way to pull off that shot. It usually will zoom and then it will refocus itself. Alright guys, this has been tips and tricks, camera tips and tricks on the Samsung Galaxy A20. Hope you guys did find this helpful. Do us a favor, leave us a comment down below and let us know what camera tip was the most helpful for you. We always love hearing your feedback. Thanks again for watching. Take care and have a good one.